Hello YouTube, this is Chuck. It's Wednesday, December 28th, and I'm coming to you from the Historical Society Museum in Ajo. It's kind of an interesting little place. I'm going to take you on a quick walkthrough of it. So first of all, as I always do, let me try to give you a little pan around the area here. We're kind of a little ways out of town, and this is up on a hill. It used to be a mission church, and they've taken it over and made it into a museum. You can see some outside exhibits here. An old ore car. Right behind the ore car back over there, where you can actually see it a little better this direction, is the open pit mine. Town is back over by those water tanks that I just showed you. And I'm trying to get back in here without showing too much of the sun. You know how I am about trying not to get in the sun. So we'll swing back around, and we're going to take you inside, talk a little bit about this museum. Is kind of like our museum at home, and it is run by volunteers, and they have a bunch of exhibits of early life here in Ajo. Ajo used to have a lot more people than it does now during the heyday of the mine. At one time the town had around 8,000 people. And there's a blacksmith shop exhibit, a dentist office. There's some other people in here I'm going to try to walk by without bothering them. Just a little bit of home life. A little hard to get this with the camera. Swinging back over on this side here now, you can see some military. They have a pretty active military history here. Sent a lot of people away to war, and unfortunately some of them didn't come back. And then over here there's a bedroom set up like an old house, and here's some Native American stuff. There's a very rich Native American history here as well. We're not too far away from the Tohono O'odham Reservation, which starts about 10 miles west of town and goes all the way to Tucson. And back over here, you can see the old sewing machine. That's a 1936 Singer. My wife has a 1937 Singer that's very similar to that in her collection. And then there's also ranching history. There's been cattle people here. I realize I can't get this very well, but this is pretty congested in here, so it's a little hard to film. Here's some more Native American history. There's a bunch of matats and manos and pottery, and swing back around here on this side. And because this used to be a church, we're actually in what used to be the chapel, and we're going to go across here into what used to be the priest residence. You see, I got a bunch of old adding machines and typewriters and old type stuff here. This was the original kitchen.
Greenway comes and he establishes that there's a lot of green and oxide rock on top.
And here
And that's a killer for them.
Some other folks in here talking about the mining history.
They know how to do that since the time of the Egyptians and the Babylonians.
See, there's a shot of what the mine looked like years ago.
Throw a lot of air into it. The oxygen and air unites with the sulfur, pulls the sulfur out up the smokestack around the campfire.
It's okay if I come on past you folks?
Yeah, sure.
I got the camera running here.
But the other kind of stuff, the green rock, that's a copper.
And here, this is their archives. They don't have a lot of, they got like the newspapers from way back when, and they've got the high school yearbooks from way back when. And it's got a lot of interesting stuff here that's displayed in a pretty small space. It's like our museum at home. It's run by volunteers, and they're open 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. A lot of stuff here on display, quite a bit of stuff to see. There's a small model of how the mining equipment used to work to get the copper out of the ore. And back over here, there's some more old mining pictures. There's a picture what the smelter looked like, and it says 1950, I believe it says. So, and they're looks like they're dumping the molten copper into a pot. And once again, it's 1950. It's a very rich mining history here, as well as the Native American history and the cowboy history to some degree. Of course, Ajo now has kind of reinvented itself. It kind of almost dried up there for a little while, but now it's the kind of experiencing a resurgence in population. There's retired people moving here, and there's younger people moving here. It's become somewhat of an artist colony. So with that, I'll let you go for now. As I always tell you, be good to each other, be kind, love each other, and we'll talk to you again real soon.